Hey guys, what's up? I know we got two Monday night games, one starting right here, but I wanted to just kind of wrap up my weekend because I've been so busy hopping around the country watching games and honestly, and being straight with you, let me put this on mute, just flat out tired. I'm an old ass man. Dog, Friday night, that game, Miami game, and all of the energy I expended in the show, you don't sleep much in Miami. And to get up Saturday and do a 3 o'clock game with Dion and Colorado and out there, and those guys took care of business like they took care of business, and then to turn around and come all the way back out here Sunday to get ready for work on Monday while I'm watching football all day. I was spent last night. I was spent. But now, I do want to talk about some of the things that I did see. I want to sum up that whole weekend because I've been moving around so much, and I'm just going to hit a few things that I want to hit, games that I want to pull out. First, my first thought is, because I'm always around Dallas. My heart is where it always is, so I'm always around Dallas. I look at New Orleans and say, what the hell? That Saint team that came in and looked absolutely perfect against my Cowboys, now all of a sudden has lost every game since they played my Cowboys. You look like you were world beaters, played a perfect game, and now what is going on? But I don't want to take any credit away from Atlanta, who beat New Orleans. I got to give Atlanta all the credit they deserve for doing what they did, because Atlanta, man, let me tell you something. That game was a good game in Atlanta. Game being won late, played late, 26-24. Atlanta wins. That's a big rivalry there. They've always had that big rivalry. And that was a huge game. I'm shocked that New Orleans has lost back-to-back games. But I knew that Atlanta, like I told you guys, and I know we're chirping a lot about right now Tampa. We were chirping about New Orleans. But what did I tell you? When Atlanta got Kirk Cousins and that talent, I told you, I'm putting them in as the South winner. And right now, I still believe in that. I'm going to leave Atlanta right there. I knew that was going to be a tough game for New Orleans. They could have shown everybody that they are what they say they are when they played the Dallas Cowboys. It wasn't that you just rose up and showed such a great game because we are right here next to one another. But you lost both games after that one. So, wow, that says something right there in that Atlanta game. So you got to get that thing going. Now, I must give love to Chicago. You beat the Rams, and I had the Rams. I had the Rams straight up. I knew they were favored. I knew you guys were favored. Chicago was favored. But I just thought they were not going to get it together good enough. And really, no matter what, a lot of injuries with the Rams. But I always take a powerful head coach, quarterback, offensive-minded team that's in struggle over any other team, because if the head coach, quarterback are good and it's an offensive-minded team, then there's a good possibility the offense is going to be good. It means they'll at least score points. But, of course, I was wrong. So I got to give Chicago credit. Give them credit for winning that game. The other game I look at is the Jets-Broncos game. I thought that was interesting. A lot of talk now. It was interesting when I watched a couple weeks ago when it was a big moment and everybody should have been celebrating. And old Robert Saleh went to hug Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers kind of kept him off. Ain't no hug, no embrace. I don't know if it was saying Aaron Rodgers saying, wait a minute, man, or we hadn't done anything to celebrate yet. Wait till we get somewhere. So I just kind of laid and played and waited on it. Didn't mention it then. Just wait. But now we see something else turning up, and Robert Saleh did the right thing. Aaron Rodgers said, we got to be more disciplined. Robert Saleh came back and said, well, maybe we should simplify some things. And then the next day, after, I guess, a conversation, he came back and said, no, we definitely got to be more disciplined. We got to get in and out of the huddle. I think so too, because I thought what he was talking about was trying to take away Aaron Rodgers' ability to use the snap count. And there have been no quarterback in the history of this game, I believe, that has done more with cadence and getting people off sides and taking advantage of that extra play and that free play. No one ever. Brett Favre was pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is the best. Probably learned a lot of it from Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers is the best. So you don't want to take that power away from your quarterback who's great at doing that. That's why I was kind of like, what are you talking about? No, he was right. Beep, beep, beep. Robert Saleh. Beep, beep. To start backing that ass up. Back your butt up and tell people, right, tell people the truth. No, I got to start disciplining these brothers. I should have been tougher on these guys coming into this game because learning how to win means when I'm having success, handling it. You see, so we should have stuck to the basics. That's what Jimmy did. Whenever we had a game in front of us that we thought we should win easily, Jimmy pressured us all week long. He said, he made sure that our minds were on the game and right what's in front of you. And he wouldn't let us think, we're just going to beat this team. We're just going to run over this team because any team can beat you literally on any given Sunday. Hence the whole term, any given Sunday. So, yeah, kudos to the Broncos for finding a way. Scores 10-9, but you found a way. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? And you won a few games, even with the quarterback sporadic play would be the best thing that I can say. Coming out of this whole weekend, before I get to what the Cowboys did, coming out of this whole weekend, it's watching that kid, Jayden Daniels, play for the Washington Commanders. That is scary. If you are anyone that's a fan of anybody in the NFC East, if you're a Cowboy fan or a Philly fan, Eagles fan, if you are a Giant fan, right now you should be shaking in your boots because this dude here looks like he looks. If he just remains what I see, gonna be some hard years coming for everybody in the NFC East. I see this kid right now. I see him light years ahead of any young quarterback at his time right now. And the system he's in just fits his talent. Let me tell you what I mean by this. I can see the improvement and great improvement Lamar Jackson made last year. Remember sitting in the pocket, making those throws. To add that to his ability to run with the football. And Lamar has come a long way. I started saying, man, he looks like Patrick Mahomes, and he does. Jayden Daniels looks like that now, too. This is just his 5th game he's coming up on. And he looks like that right now. I mean, this dude looks very poised, smart, everybody around him hyped and playing, doesn't get rattled, and he doesn't do dumb things. He plays within himself. He doesn't take many hits. He slides, slips, and get away from them. Yesterday, I'm watching Lamar Jackson, and I said to myself, why are you jumping? Lamar Jackson, they were killing Buffalo. You had the game. You jumping. What are you doing? Slide down. You already got the first down. You end up fumbling the ball. Those are the kind of mistakes made in a game that has cost them the ability to beat Patrick Mahomes. You cannot make those kind of bad plays in a game, those kind of not thinking plays in a game and beat Patrick Mahomes. That's why Lamar Jackson has struggled to beat Patrick Mahomes. This is why Josh Allen has struggled to beat Patrick Mahomes. Jayden Daniels look different. Yeah. I know he's just a rookie, but he's scary. Very scary. Because he has the pocket ability that those guys have worked to get. He has it more naturally. And he has that running ability that God just blessed them with. He has it real naturally. And he's smart enough to avoid plays and avoid big hits and avoid the bad decisions. That's a scary man with that kind of physical capability, shoulders down, and that kind of weight and ability to think shoulders up is a scary man. The kind of man with the right team around him that can give a Patrick Mahomes some fits. Joe Burrow is that kind of quarterback that plays and make good plays late in games, but he doesn't have the legs like this. This bears watching. I know us in the East, we're going to watch, but everybody all around will watch this young kid. And I'm going to tell you this too. It's like y'all forgetting, they put up 42 points against the Cardinals. You must think about this. Think about Cliff Kingsbury and what he was thinking. He's back there saying everybody thought my offense couldn't work. So when I went and selected with the number 1 pick, let's call Kyler Murray, the Terminator, he got the Terminator. And the Terminator did some things good. But you remember that T2 model? That T2 model, Cliff Kingsbury got that T2 model in Jayden Daniels. Kyler Murray was the Terminator. Jayden Daniels, the T2 model. And now he's showing you what that offense can do. That is scary. One last thing I want to get to before I get to the Cowboys, I want to talk about what the Colts did to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it ties right in because the Colts did to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers play the Cowboys next. So let me go over here. I guess I'm on the Cowboys already when I talk about this. Because the Colts did it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nobody expected it. Once Anthony Richardson went down, guess who stepped in? Good old Betsy. Good old Betsy is the person you call the girl that no matter what goes down, she gonna be there right there with you. It's what you call a good car, no matter what. Good old Betsy go get you where you need to be. You know, I had so many days growing up talking about, come on, Betsy. I know you're gonna crank, baby. Come on. You know, I can't. I'm real poor. You know, okay. You guys don't know nothing about cars not cranking nowadays, and you don't know about TVs with antennas from coat hangers and all that stuff. So let me just tell you, yeah. Good old Betsy could be a good car. Good old Betsy be a good friend. You know what I'm saying. I'm just, we get off all that. But good old Betsy, we gonna call that. That's what we gonna call Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, good old Betsy came on in that game. I think probably the best, and Gerald McCoy said it on the show today, best unit in football, the National Football League probably has been the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Good old Betsy came in and cut it up. And it wasn't cutting it up with all the big plays all over. It was like, I'm just going to make the right play. Now think about it. Joe Flacco with Baltimore has seen that Pittsburgh Steelers defense many times. So he was able to step in and take care of business, and the Colts beat the Steelers. Now the Steelers get ready, and they play the Cowboys. And here it is. I must give him credit because Justin Fields, I was worried. Can he, he's been doing good playing from the front. But now when you play from behind, can he get it done? Can he make plays? And we put the game back in perspective, even though they got out pretty good on the Steelers. He put the game back in perspective. So yeah, he mounted a little bit of a comeback, so I give him credit for that. But I am worried now that the Steelers are coming off a loss, getting ready to go and play my Cowboys. And the Cowboys, speaking of, they look like, all right, I don't know if it was more the Giants Giants look much better than I thought, or the Cowboys just looking all right. because the Giants looked pretty good early on, had me worried throughout that game messing around with the Cowboys. And I still think the Cowboys got to find another weapon, or somebody has to reveal themselves, raise his hand and say, I am he, and step up and start making some plays, because it took all of that to beat the Giants. And I told you guys already, the rest of this schedule, these next 6-7 weeks, it's just pure hell. And it's going to take 35 to 38 points a game if the Cowboys got any chance at winning those games. 35 to 38 points per game. Listen to me. It'll be great if the Cowboys can get some early leads so you can help that defense with having to contend with the runs. 35 to 38 points a game. Can Dak do that? Yes, he's done that over his career. Here are the numbers. Now, I know they're great numbers, but you get paid a great number, go get it done. You and CeeDee Lamb, and that's why I said it was so important last week for them to get back on the same page. And now that they are, they got to move forward together, and they got to have one mind, one heart, because they got to lift and lead everybody else. If at any time they let anyone take CD out, rather you take him out double teaming him, or he takes himself out being frustrated, and this is how I used to think. I said either way, the other team wins. So even when they try to double team and triple team me, I got to tell myself, they just trying to make me mad, which they are. They're doing a hell of a good job, but they're trying to make me mad at my boys, at my squad. And I have to recognize it, realize it, and make sure it doesn't get the best of me. I like what Coach did last week. He said, hey, CD, let me let you touch this leather. He got in the backfield, man. He did good running the football out of the backfield. Now, I want us to be careful with that, because we need somebody to catch that ball. Let's be real. I don't want him to get hurt running from a running back position. I need somebody to go catch that ball. But I do need you to have that ability to put it in his hands so he is okay in his head. And no matter what they do, you can't stop them. They can't stop you from keeping your main man in his main mind to help you win. That's what I like about Mike McCarthy and what he did last week. You got to make sure and remember, from the time last year, that's when they took off. A couple of years ago, when him and CD, they missed a couple times, then he took off. I'm expecting a takeoff. They've gone through this preseason stuff that they didn't have camp together, but now I'm expecting them to take off when they get back, and it's going to need to do just that, because they're going to be facing that best unit again in the Pittsburgh Steelers when they get back. Let's get to it, man. I'm going to tell you something. I want to say this. I want to say this before I go to. Watching Travis Hunter has been incredible. Watching Shador and Shiloh is great, because I watched them such little kids, man, grow up and seeing them be the men they are. I'm so proud of them right now. I watch what their dads had done with them. But Travis Hunter, that kid is phenomenal talent, man. I enjoyed watching him, the technician side of him play that game Saturday. Offensively, when he was playing wide receiver, and then defensively when he was playing DB. I'm telling you something, man. I've seen many physical, talented dudes shoulders down, man. Only Dion is the only person I would say had any kind of, that was I could put up as somewhere near what he's doing, having that kind of ability, shoulders down, but with the ability to think a game like I saw him thinking a game from the wide receiver position and then from the defensive back position. It is an incredible thing to watch. I told that young man I appreciate being able to sit this close and watch such a talent like him and Shador. You know, it really is a fascinating watch. But I'm going to tell you guys, Miami Hurricanes. Yeah. We back. That game was everything. That game means a great deal to that city and what it instills in those young men. I just can't tell you. I'm just, man. Now I'm moving my schedule all around. I got to be everywhere I can be, everywhere that they are. That means I'm going to have me some tired traveling weekends, if you know what I mean.